Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to Leicester Till I Die TV. This is the weekly roundup talking about everything that happened last week for Leicester City and everything that is coming up in the next few days. Obviously, we've got multiple things to talk about regarding new signings and their performances, how they've done so far, the games that played last week, the Europa League campaign got underway, as well as our game against Arsenal. And then upcoming, we have got more games coming this weekend. They're coming quick this year because of the Europa League and everything that's gone on with it being a slightly shorter season and everything. These games are coming very, very fast. So let's talk about last week to kick things off. So firstly, we had the Europa League starting on the Thursday and we played Zorya Luhansk, obviously a team that is from a different part of the world. We don't really have much expectation from them or know really how they're going to play, how we're going to suit playing against them. And so it was a little bit of a worry because obviously it's European competition. We're not in it every single year. We're not used to these kind of different styles of games. So it was a little bit tense to start off with. They played pretty well to begin with, but then we really found our element and some players had very, very good games. Wesley Fofana, what a signing so far. He has been fantastic. But also some other shout-outs for that game. Harvey Barnes obviously got a lot of credit for that game. But Kelechi Iheanacho, well done. Stepped up to the plate, got himself a goal, although it was a little bit fortunate how he got the ball. He still put it away on his weak foot and got 2 assists as well. He looked very, very good in that game. Now, again, it's not as if they are a Liverpool or Man City or even other teams like Real Madrid kind of level of team, but you've still got to play what's in front of you. And we looked decent. And we looked like we can do okay against those teams in this competition. So that was really, really nice to kick off that campaign with a clean sheet, with a couple of goals, and just getting that confidence high, ready before it potentially gets knocked a little bit on the weekend when we have that Arsenal game coming up, before then the next week going in against AEK Athens. So that was really good and a really good experience in general for a lot of the players. Obviously we have multiple younger players who have not played European football before, and so to get their first game under their belts and have it as a convincing win, you can't ask for much more than that, can you? Which then led us on to the Arsenal game at the weekend. Now, obviously Arsenal have been a bogey team for us for very, very long. And the famous stat before we went into that game at the weekend was that we had not won at Arsenal away in 47 years. Which is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, the amount of times that we have played them, especially as of late, is mad. And we've been better than them in recent years. Yet we still haven't managed to pick up that win. We did manage to get a draw recently, which was good. And it was progress. It was a step closer to that achievement that we were looking for. But the Arsenal game was very similar to the Man City game earlier in the season, where we sat back, we absorbed their pressure, and we didn't really let them create too much. I know that they had a couple of chances. They had the offside goal, which I'd like to know your thoughts on. Do you honestly, if you're completely unbiased and completely honest, do you think it should have been allowed or disallowed? I still don't know. To be honest with you, Lacazette puts his header, flicks it on from the near post, and then Xhaka is apparently impeding Kasper Schmeichel. Now, from the first few angles, I would agree. From some of the other angles, it doesn't look like he'd get anywhere close to it anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe we got away with one there. Maybe by the letter of the law, it was definitely 100% had to be disallowed, in which case, fair enough. But it was a bit of a worrying start, and then it sort of set in that we were going to sit back and just let them come on to us the whole time and hope for a counter-attack. However, our counter-attacks didn't really exist because we didn't have Vardy on the pitch. We didn't really have the pace on the wings because we had Harvey Barnes sort of up front with Maddison at times. Maddison was a false 9 at some point. I didn't really understand what we were trying. We were playing sort of like a 5-4-1, something along those lines, or a 5-3-2. I don't know. But our wing-backs didn't get forward very much. And that was a bit of a problem for us because that's something that has been really good this season. Whether it has been a 4 at the back or a 5 at the back, our fullbacks going forward, Castan on one side, Justin on the other, they've created chances for each other. And it's been really, really fun to watch, and also creates another dynamic element to your attack. So seeing them not really get forward was worrying. However, despite all of that, Casper makes a decent save against Bellerin. You love to see it. Lacazette should have scored when he had his header that Fuchs somehow got in the way of. I don't know how that wasn't 1-0 to them. But then, the absolute peach of a ball by Tielemans through to Cengiz Under, who completely loses Xhaka, comes downfield and then darts backwards, checks his run and has lost him instantly. Tielemans sees him, puts an inch-perfect pass through. Gabriel at the back trying his best to block off both Under and Vardy, but Mustafi nowhere to be seen. Under on his weak foot. The pace that he showed there and the movement was beautiful. And then the vision to pick out Vardy there with, again, a perfect pass. And the little half-diving header. Beautiful. Beautiful goal. It only took a couple of passes in order to do it. Mendy bringing it to Tielemans, through to Under, to Vardy. It was really, really nice. And it sums up the fact that Vardy is just such a big player for us. He wasn't fully fit, which is why he came on as a sub. But it seemed like that was going to be our game plan, was try and hold on for as long as possible and then bring on some super subs and see if we can make one of those chances count. It worked perfectly. Under and Vardy coming together to get that goal was... it was beautiful to see. And we finally break that curse to 47 years without winning away at Arsenal. It's done. It's dusted. Okay? Now, we're on an unbeaten streak there. Right? 2 games. 1 win, 1 draw. You love to see it. So, well, actually, no. In the league, we might be on an unbeaten streak, but not in the cup. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So, big, big win. Huge win. We are 4th in the table as it stands, which is really nice after 6 games gone. The table is a bit of a mess right now. You've got Man City and Man U really, really far down, and it's just a bit bizarre. Liverpool have got massive injury problems with Van Dijk, obviously out for the rest of the season. Matip maybe slightly injured. Fabinho going off injured in their Champions League game. Salah potentially injured. They're in trouble. Chelsea are not quite clicking yet. Man City haven't clicked. Man U aren't either. Spurs are a bit hit and miss. They obviously have had some really, really good wins so far this season, but then bottled a 3-0 lead against West Ham and stuff like that. It's all over right now. So I think it's very, very difficult to predict at this stage where this league is going to go. Even by Christmas, I don't think anyone could really predict who's going to be in the top 6 at this rate, because right now you've got Villa and Leeds smashing it and everything. I don't know. It's a crazy league, but that's why it's the best league in the world. It's so entertaining. Anything can happen, and it is beautiful to watch. So, talking of things to watch, upcoming week, we've got AEK Athens in the Europa League. Now, they got beat by Braga in the first game as we beat Zorya. So, Braga are, I would assume, the favourites of our group. If not, then we're probably joint favourites with them because of English bias. But Braga are a very good team. So they are the ones to worry about and look out for. They did beat Athens as we beat Zorya. So obviously we want to go through and we want to do the best that we can. So we kind of need a solid win against AEK if we are to potentially try and finish top of our group. Because again, Braga is going to be hard. If we manage to beat Braga at home, we're in a very, very good spot. But away, I think it'll be very difficult. So if we can get a big win tomorrow night as this is being recorded, that would be the dream start to the Europa campaign. And then it would also boost up our confidence for Monday's game as well. Originally planned or scheduled for Halloween, it is Leeds away. Now, Leeds, again, have been hit and miss so far. If Bamford comes out firing, we might be in trouble. If he doesn't, we've got a good chance. It's sort of as simple as that right now. Some games, they look like world beaters. Like, they took it to Liverpool to start the season off, and then they've had some really good performances in their other games. And then others, they've just been a little bit off the pace. Ideally, you'd want to play both games against Leeds between March and May, when their pressing style and everything has to be sort of pulled back a little bit because of just stamina problems throughout the season. Whereas now, they're up and at 'em, they are fired up, and they are ready to go. So that's going to be a tricky game. Obviously, we've still got massive injury problems with Cags, Ricky P, and Didi. Vardy potentially able to start, which would be nice. Maddison looking like he is now pretty much back from injury and can start games and potentially play as close to a full 90 as possible is really good for us. And you got to be confident based on what we've done so far. We have played with different formations and different tactics against multiple teams, and we've come out on top. Obviously, we've had some poor results against Villa and West Ham. However, we have done better than expected with how many injuries we have to our core starting 11. You don't see other teams in the league having that many injuries and still pulling out big results. So I think it's a testament to our squad this season so far, especially people that have basically been brought in that didn't think that they'd probably be playing that much, such as Namplis Mendy. At the start of the season, if we didn't have our centre-back injuries and stuff like that, he probably would have been on the bench for basically every game. Even not on the bench for some of the matches, because Ndidi would have been playing DM every single game. But Mendy has stepped in, and he's been fantastic. Wesley Fofana, obviously signed, not able to start the season, but has played our last couple of games after signing because of injuries. Maybe it would have taken him a few months to potentially bed in and get time to play. But he has basically been forced into the squad, and he has taken his chance masterfully. And you'd think, even when players are back, you'd be crazy to take him out of the team because of how good he's been. So, again, it's a testament to our squad and our non-starting 11 players as to how well they have done this season and dealt with big personalities being taken out of our starting 11. And we've just been chopping and changing. Again, we've been forced to play different formations, different players, etc. And we still look like we're doing quite well so far. So I say fair play to our squad right now. They are impressing me, and also a little bit worrying at sometimes. Some of the stuff that we try and do in games is a little bit like, why not just play him through? Instead of passing it 5 times, just play that forward pass. But hey, if it gets the results, it doesn't matter. We're looking good so far. I'd love to know your thoughts on the season in general and your predictions for the upcoming 2 games against AEK Athens and Leeds in the next few days. But that is going to be it for this one. If you did enjoy it, thumb the video up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next week for another one. Goodbye.